Hi guys, this is One Man and His Son. We're back in London again and seeing some of the sites that we haven't seen yet. So yeah, we're trying to do some of the history of various places we'll be visiting today. But we're going to start here at part of the London Wall, which is just up on Tower Hill. So you can see it there. This is actually by the side of a hotel, so we can't actually go any further. But yeah, I keep you updated through the day as we go along. So see you later. So this is another part of the section of London Wall on Tower Hill. That's obviously the Tower of London. This actually goes round this side as well. So this is the statue of the Roman Emperor Trajan. This is the Tower of London. As far as we can go today, because they've closed the walkway off, so we have to go right round. This is St Catherine's Dock, just off Tower Bridge. So it's a bit of a treat to see. This is the Gloriana, the Queen's barge. I didn't think I would actually get to see this. But yeah, very cool. This is quite a recent barge. This was built for 2012 Jubilee. But yeah, it's very special to actually get to see this, especially up so close as well. This is just by St Catherine's Dock, looking at the Tower Bridge. Quite a famous statue of a lady holding on to a dolphin here. If you look up nighttime pictures of Tower Bridge, people seem to favour this one. Bedman's Hole over there, where bodies used to get washed up during the Victorian times. And the story goes, the mixture of salt water here with normal water on the Thames used to make the bodies swell up after a while, and they used to actually, some of them used to actually explode. And so they've got the white tiles there so they could wash it down afterwards. Famous Tower Bridge. There's London skyline with HMS Belfast. This is London Bridge. And the skyline of London over there, the various skyscrapers, Bishopsgate. That little church there is Magnus the Martyr, which we'll be having a look at later. Just noticed there's two guys cleaning that tower block over there, which must be quite scary. So this is actually represents what used to be when they used to put the traitors' heads at the end of London Bridge, the old London Bridge. So we're now going to cross over London Bridge. Okay, so we're actually on London Bridge now. That's London Bridge Hospital, the Tower Bridge, the Tower of London over there. That's Whitechapel, that area. Okay, so we're under London Bridge at the moment. The original London Bridge sort of ran just slightly to the side, like where that brown building is there, and then come out just to the side of me at the back at Magnus the Martyr. This is St Magnus the Martyr. They've got a really good model of the original London Bridge inside. And this is heading up towards Monument. So this is actually a part of the original medieval London Bridge, which is just outside Magnus the Martyr. This is actually the original pedestrian gateway to the bridge is here. Just to this side here, and it actually used to run here. That's part of an old Roman, part of the Roman wall, which is pretty old. So yeah, this was the actual original gateway to the bridge was here. This is where people used to walk along, up until when they knocked it down and the new one opened up in 1973. So this is a monument to the Great Fire of London in 1666, which burnt down basically most of the old city of London. Started Pudding Lane just there, in a bakery in the early hours of the morning. So this is the actual spot where they think the Great Fire of London started, and this is just up from Pudding Lane, and there's Monument again. This is St Clement's Church from the nursery rhyme Oranges and Lemons. This is inside St Clement's Church. It's quite a small church. So this is the old Billingsgate Fish Market, which is now moved up the Thames a bit, mainly because they couldn't really get the boats up here anymore. But yeah, that's the old Fishgate Market. So this looks like one of the old cranes they used to use to unload the cargo. the Hall of London, which is where we are now. It's HMS Belfast over there. Shard, going up towards London Bridge. So this is just up from Traitors Gate at the Tower of London. As you can see, the tide's going out. It's one of the gateways into the Tower of London. So this obscure building is actually part of the original tunnelway under the Thames, which is all boarded up now. And yeah, not many people really take much notice of this old building, but it's actually quite historic. 1868, so it is very, very old. It's hydraulic power. I think they actually have power cables or something going in there now, but yeah, I think it was actually part of the original tunnelway, or maybe even part of the start of the London Underground under the Thames. So this is All Hallows by the Tower Church, a very old church. It survived the Great Fire of London, and in the crypt of it is actually a Roman floor, but unfortunately it's closed at the moment. Not to reopen until next month, I think, so maybe in the future we can go down there and have a look at it. But yeah, it's a very old church. So this is St Dunstan in the East, which was a Christopher Wren church, which got severely damaged in World War II, and they haven't reconstructed it. They just left it for us to see what it used to look like, which is actually pretty cool. Leadenhall Market, a very old market. It's very cool here, isn't it? We're actually at 90 Gracechurch Street, which is by Leadenhall Market, and this is part of the old Roman Basilica that we've been given permission to come down and see, which is just super cool. And this is the information on here. I'm sure you could pause it and read it all. But yeah, very, very cool. So this is St Michael Cornhill, built by Sir Christopher Wren in 1672. And just look at that for an entrance on there. That is amazing. This is the Royal Exchange. So we're now at Guildhall. We was here the other week, but we're actually coming to see the amphitheatre today, which I believe is in there. And this is the line where the amphitheatre used to be. So yeah, see you on the inside hopefully. So this is the Roman amphitheatre at Guildhall. As I explained in the previous video, the line actually runs this circle here. So this is actually the original amphitheatre wall, where they had gladiator fights and fights with various animals, which I'm sure they cruelly killed off. I've been waiting quite a while to actually get in here to see this, so I'm quite pleased that we've managed to actually get in here to see this. Yeah, this was built about 100 years after the Romans first started Londinium, because they basically classed Londinium as one of the major places for them to live outside Rome. So they built this big amphitheatre to entertain the people and soldiers of Roman Britain. So this has got a lot of history here. I'm sure it's got quite gruesome at stages, with various people being put to the sword and whatever else they used to kill them. So no, it's a pretty cool place to be. Some sort of shaft running under us now, which is going up that way. Not quite sure what it was for. Maybe it was for water, or I'm not sure, but yeah, it must be pretty old because it's all encased, and it lights up quite nicely every so often. So there's a very cool place to be. So this must be various parts of the amphitheatre. Amazing that it's still here to this day. You're nearly, well, not far off of 2,000 years old. So this is part of the London Roman fort, just outside London Museum. It's looking like it's seen better days, but it's still nice to see. This is the part of the actual corner of the fort here. This is 41 Clough Fair, which is a very old house. It actually survived the Great Fire of London in 1666. It's had a little bit of a rebuild on it, but this is actually the original house from those times, and it's won a City Heritage Award as well, so it must be pretty good inside, but unfortunately we're not allowed in it. So this is St Bartholomew's Gatehouse, which survived the Great Fire of London also. So this is something we just stumbled across. This is Sir William Wallace's actual spot where he was put to death. And that's all the information in it. I didn't know this was here. We've just found it. And someone's put a Scottish flag there as well. And I think this church was actually associated something to do with Pocahontas. Also, it's got a bit of a grim history, this church, because when people used to go to the Old Bailey to basically be sentenced to death, this would be the last church really that they would see on their way, and they'd be seen on their way to hell or heaven, wherever they're going, by the priest. They would stand here and bless them. So this is the Old Bailey, the famous criminal court. This is St Bride's Church, which is well named actually, because this is what they base the wedding cake on, with the tears, as you'll see. Another survivor from the Great Fire of London, 1666. This is Prince Harry's Green, it's called. This is Templar Church, which was built by the Knights Templar. Quite a unique church because it's round rather than a tower, straight tower. I'll just show the yard. It's actually still got the coffins laid out there, which I guess was for the Knights Templar who died. We're just down Fleet Street now, and we've got to the Royal Courts of Justice, which is the Strand. So these are actually the crater marks from bombs from World War II, which the Germans dropped on London. As you can see, you can only sort of really imagine how bad it was during World War II, all the bombs dropping,